So the time has finally come. Got all the prep work done, the wood's finished, the barrel is finished, everything's been sanded out to be the right size and shape, and so it's time to put everything together. So I start with putting the barrel into the barrel channel, the trigger into the trigger area, and you'll notice I've got some sandpaper handy. I've got my drill handy because when I put the clear coat on, that does tend to kind of get into some of those cracks and some of those holes that I drilled, so I have to re-drill them out and make them a little bit bigger to make sure that everything fits in just right and nicely. So you can see there I'm drilling out the hole for that tenon pin again, and as you can see it still doesn't fit perfectly, so I have to drill it out again here. And you'll see that I have to do that several times as I'm putting this thing together. I'm putting in the tang screw, which does engage 3 or 4 turns probably, not as much as I'd like, but hey, I don't make the kit, so here we are. Now putting in the trigger guard, and then I'm gonna put in the screw for that. I only had 1 screw at the time, and I needed to use a tiny screwdriver, so I used this cheap one that we got from a construction company swag event, which works nicely. Next up is putting in the action, or not the action, goodness, the lock plate. And so there's some clear coat in the lock plate cutout there that I'm getting out with my pocket knife, and I'm also going to have to use some sandpaper to get that cleaned out to make sure that the lock plate fits. And then it's just a matter of putting in the lock screw from the other side of the stock, which has that brass washer there, which I couldn't quite get that brass washer to go in, so I used my pocket knife as a little miniature hammer there, and that was able to make that screw engage and pull that washer in all the way. Next up, there's the front lock screw. This one I struggled a bit with. It didn't really want to go in very easy, and I ended up having to drill out the hole 2 or 3 times. I'm only showing once here, and I'd already drilled it out once, but eventually we did get that screw in. And then last up are the 2 little pieces of trim on either side of the stock, which kind of make the tenon pin look a little decorative rather than just being a pin sitting there, and they hold the tenon pin in. And so that's what I'm putting on here in these pictures, in this segment here. So, well, let me deal with that while in the background of the video, my kids, of course, run rampant. So here's the mostly finished piece, and just kind of showing it off here. You can see under there the spot in the barrel that I should have browned, but I forgot to, and I'll probably get to that eventually. There's that brass washer. You can see it says Philadelphia Derringer right there on the lock plate. Here I'm showing you the pulling the trigger. The trigger's got quite a bit of play in it, like my rifle does, and I don't know if that's normal for antique guns or antique style guns or what. At the time when I finished it, I was still missing one of the trigger guard screws and also the nipple for the action for firing it, but I have since ordered those, and here's the completed pistol. It was a great project. See you guys later.